Welcome to the Clemson Players Show presented by Fan Media Network. I am your humble host, Levon Kirkland. The 2020 ACC Championship is all over. Clemson Tigers 34, Notre Dame 10. The Clemson Tigers are the six-time champions. Another Clemson championship. Please welcome my fellow players, champions. I got Tony with me. I got Sylvester, if he comes on. I got Dwight, Derek, and Janine. Let me be the first to tell all of you guys, congratulations on your dominant prediction of this game. We're going to start with Dwight here. Did Trevor play up to expectations today?
Yes, I believe he did. He came out. He got the offense going. Everybody seemed to be composed, and he took control of the whole game pretty much. He set the tone, got everything going. He made the plays he needed to play. He opened up the run game for ETN a whole lot better. So pretty much he took control and played all the way up to my expectations of the game pretty much. So he definitely did on my end.
All right, Tony, did Trevor play up to expectations today?
Yes, he did, and then some. I think before the game, everybody was trying to compare what he was going to do to what DJ did the first game. And like we tried to say, it wasn't about those stats. It was about him calming the offense down, settling the offense down, making the right reads, using his legs like he did, so excellently today. So he did everything he needed to do to get that victory, to make it as easy as it was. That definitely helped his cause of being discussed for the Heisman. He did everything we wanted and what we thought he would do in this game.
All right, Derek, give me your assessment of Trevor playing today.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, cool, man. Hey, I think Trevor did exactly what he was supposed to do. He's been the same quarterback all year. I think he looked a lot more effective because the last time we played, the game plan was to stop ETN, and the quarterback run wasn't as effective. I think Notre Dame started with that same game plan, but you can't stop ETN and Trevor Lawrence at the same time. So I think he was who he was, and he played a great ball game, man. So I definitely think he lived up to what we thought he was today.
All right, this homecoming, did Trevor play up to expectations today?
I think you have to ask what else could the man have possibly done today.
Oh, excuse me.
He passed for 322 yards. He had 14 carries for 90 yards, which was the most carries of anyone, including ETN at 10. He had that really long touchdown run of 34 yards, and generally you don't see quarterbacks run like that long. So that was impressive. To Dwight's point, he did open up the field for ETN. He targeted 7 different receivers, and he was changing plays real time. I just think he played exceptionally well and was very deserving of the MVP. And I really appreciate Dabo closing at the end with the arguments about why he should win the Heisman. So if we had expectations that were not met, I would say that we have completely unreasonable expectations. He did a great job.
Well, I've been on about 5 different shows this whole weekend talking about this game, and I said if Trevor brings his 5-star caliber ability to the game, that we would probably beat Notre Dame by at least 3 touchdowns. A lot of people did not believe that nationwide, but I felt that also he lived up to the billing. And that's what a great quarterback does, a great player does. They live up to the billing, especially when a championship's on the line or a big game is on the line. He really came alive, and I thought that Dabo did a good job of endorsing him to be a Heisman. I can see him being a finalist. We'll see if he'll win or not, but I thought that he really played well today. So let's go to the second question. What was your fan media big play of the game? Coach Sullivan, let's start with you. Your big play of the game.
Well, I think it's that first touchdown, man. You know, you get that explosive play for 70-some yards for a touchdown. I definitely think that was hello Notre Dame, a different Clemson team is here. This ain't the same team you saw last week. I think that got everything rolling, and I think it got that offense started. I mean, we knew our defense could play. We knew we had our players back. And the offense, that play, I think, just set the tone, and we just rolled from that point on. So I think that first touchdown set the tone, and it kind of woke us up, and we just continue to go from there.
All right, Dwight, what was your big play of the game?
For me, I think it was that missed field goal. Like I said, it added up to what Derek was talking about, getting us going on that big offensive touchdown. But to me, the missed field goal, like I said, that kind of took the whole air out of their sail, pretty much, like I said, and got us going. So to me, the missed field goal was what changed the game, pretty much.
All right, Tony, what's your big play of the game, my friend?
For me, it was Trevor's touchdown. The one thing we talked about after that first game, although DJ had great stats, was we know he was lacking with his running ability. And we saw how it opened up for Travis today. We saw the damage that Trevor can do when he gets loose. And that touchdown kind of just solidified the day for him. I expected him to do what he did, passing the ball, and we all knew he could run the ball. And I guess Notre Dame found that out as well.
All right, Janine, Miss Homecoming, what was your fan media play, big play of the game?
So I'm going to go and be the contrarian. I think it was really on the defensive side of the ball. I think about the middle of the second quarter, when the defense got 2 sacks of the quarterback in a row. Those 2 sacks gutted that team. That was the first time that Notre Dame had to punt the ball at all in the game. The momentum shifted, and they didn't show up after those 2 things happened. Those 2 sacks back to back was the end of them. I think that those 2 things together back to back was a big play of the game.
All right, I'm gonna put my little 2 cents in, and I'm gonna say honestly, I thought the first touchdown pass to Trevor Lawrence is probably the big play of the game, because I thought what that show was, Notre Dame was thinking like, whoa, wait a second, we're not all even on the same level as Clemson. If we try to play these guys man to man, they thought they got clever and tried to play as man to man on a first down. They got burned, and I think that really took the sails out of them. I really do. I think that kind of cut their throats a little bit. So I'm gonna go with that as being my big play of the game. Now down to the third question. We know that we're in, but what teams make your Final Four for the playoffs? Dwight, let's start with you.
For me, going along the Alabama wins, I got them at number 1. Clemson at number 2. This one might shock you. I got Ohio State at 3, but I'm going to go with Texas A&M at 4.
Okay, can you tell us why you got Ohio State at number 3?
Well, basically, if they're going off of conference champions pretty much as their criteria, how they pretty much go about a lot of times, and they did tend to get that 6th game in, with it being the championship game, and being that they didn't get blown out the way that Notre Dame did, I feel that kind of got them over the hump pretty much, because I think Notre Dame played themselves out of it pretty much by just how they didn't show up tonight.
Right. Tony, give me your team.
Yes, I got Bama 1, Clemson 2, and 3 and 4. You could put it in any order, but I still got Notre Dame in along with Texas A&M. Again, you put Notre Dame 3, you could put Notre Dame 4. Notre Dame got blew out tonight, but when we're talking about Ohio State, I can't help but say they're 6-0, and they were given a chance to play for their championship. They didn't earn it. The conference gave it to them because they want a shot at playing in the playoffs. Notre Dame won 10 games this season. You can't take that away from them. It's the same thing we said last week. They played all these games. They went through the bumps and the bruises, and yes, they got to the championship and didn't have a great game. But everybody that's ranked in that top 6 played 8 games or more except Ohio State. And it's just hard for me to, put them over a team that played 9-10 games and lost 1 game against a totally good team.
All right. Okay, Derek, give me your 14.
Hey, I got the same for Dwight, man. I got Bama, Clemson, Ohio State and Texas A&M. And I'm just playing from the other side of it. If I'm in that room and I'm looking at Notre Dame or Ohio State or A&M, I'm going to say, you know what? This was Notre Dame versus Clemson tonight. The last game wasn't. If Clemson was just as healthy last game as we were tonight, then Notre Dame got 2 losses. And we're not even talking about that. So now we're back to Ohio State and A&M. A&M got a big argument. You know, A&M got their only loss was to, if Alabama wins tonight, you know, an undefeated SEC champion team. And then they went on to win 7 in a row. So, again, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and A&M for me.
All right, Miss Homecoming, what do you have? Who's your Final Four?
I think it's Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. But I think the real questions are what you do with Ohio State and Notre Dame. So I could be talked off of this. Ohio State with only the 6 wins or the 6 games really has the weakest argument. And the guys have talked about that. And now you've got 3 coaches advocating that they not get it. Dabo, Notre Dame's coach, and Texas A&M coach Jimbo Fisher, saying that it's a non-starter for them. They just don't have a sufficient body of work. But the question is, who's in the wings if those 2 teams don't get in? And whether we think Texas A&M is sufficiently strong, given the fact they got destroyed by Alabama earlier this year. It's more interesting if Alabama loses tonight, but they won't lose tonight. So I think that ultimately pedigree is what will get Ohio State in. And that those 6 wins will be deemed indicative as who they are as a program, and therefore they should just get in. I think that was ultimately the reason for that. Even though I think it's a weak argument. So those would be my 4.
Well, hey, those are all very great points. I'm looking at myself. I would say Alabama's first if they win this game tonight. I'm pretty much sure they're going to win this game tonight. Clemson earned a 2nd ranking. Unfortunately, Ohio State is going to be in the mix somewhere. They're going to be number 3, and the reason why they're going to be number 3 is because they're Ohio State, and they won the Blue Bloods, and they went undefeated. They won their conference, so most likely they get in. The 4th one is going to be a tough one for me, but I think that Texas A&M is going to get in over Notre Dame. Now, I think Notre Dame had a really great season, but it's what have you done for me lately? And when you watch this game, I'm sure the committee is going to look at it and say, do we really want to see Notre Dame in the Final Four? They're going to be number 4. They're going to get crushed by Alabama. They got crushed by Clemson tonight. We don't really want to see them in there. So this is when I think that Texas A&M kind of creeps in. So, I think that the Final Four, I think tomorrow's going to be very interesting as far as the selection show goes. And I want to thank you guys so much for being on this show. I know everybody is excited about the ACC champs once again. And ACC actually means another Clemson Championship. And I have one little advice for Notre Dame fans. Don't be poking on the king now. Don't be pulling on Superman cake. You did your little display when you came out there. You saw Trevor Lawrence under his mask after they lost that game, and you see that smile on his face. You woke up a sleeping giant, and you just had to pay the price. We beat the Lucky Charms off Notre Dame today. And Notre Dame, the next time you try to come play us, you better apologize first. You better bow down to the king. That's all I got to say. Thank you guys so much for being involved. I really appreciate your input. And we're off for the Clemson Players Show, presented by Fan Media Network. Thank you so much. Have a great holiday, and we'll see you guys January the 1st, semifinals. All right, everybody have a great day. Thank you.
To host a player show or appear as a player on a player show, simply create a profile on Fan Media's iOS app or website. Select your teams and make a short intro video on your phone. Show hosts, reporters, former players, and superfans can use our Get Verified feature and make an intro video as well, and our mobile newsroom staff will reach out.